I thought this was really cool. The view from behind me as I start walking, the view ahead. It's like night and day. So I'm a little over 1 mile into my walk this morning. I went a different route than I've been going the past couple of days, and just wanted to share this beautiful view with you here. Let me go ahead and bring that up a little closer. Look at that. Boy, God is good every day. I'll tell you what. So yesterday, when I talked to you, I was talking to you a little bit about focusing on the solution rather than the problem. And as I wake up this morning and turn on my pretty much only feed to the world, YouTube, to see what's going on out there, I see one, it's pretty much the same old thing. And two, it's just one more way to divide us all. All this talk about what's going on with the jab, it's dividing people who are of like mind in a lot of ways. And it's like they found one more way to drive a wedge between us all. And I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about the problem. I want to talk about another solution for you. If you're a carnivore dieter or a lion dieter like I am, you consume a lot of meat. And I would say that my monthly budget for meat consumption is a lot higher than it was when I started, or before I started this diet. But even before I started this diet, I still bought a good bit of meat. And the people I'm buying it from are siding with the people who want to basically control you through what you can and can't eat. And I thought to myself, why do I keep giving them my money if they're using it against me? So I looked into buying local, and I found that there are some differences in the way that the cattle ranchers raise their animals, and it does require a little bit of process on your part to get started in buying local. But with all the news we've heard about small businesses struggling and everybody wanting to come together to help one another, I just couldn't think of a better way for you to get started on helping those small cattle ranchers, the independent families that are raising cattle for you to eat, and some of them doing a really good job of regenerative agriculture and lessening the amount of chemicals that are in our ground and in our food. And on top of that, a lot of times you can wind up paying less buying a whole cow or a half cow from a local rancher than you would buying a hamburger. So if the price of buying local beef is as much as or less than buying the least expensive beef you can buy in the store, and it supports what things that you want to support, don't you think it's worth the effort to find out who your local ranchers are, to find out how they raise their cattle, and to support those that do the things that you would want to do if you were in charge of that? I mean, it's called voting with your money, voting with your dollars. Every dollar is a vote for what you believe in. And if you want to support good people, then buy local. You can go to usabeef.org to find your local rancher closest to you. I did this a couple months ago myself for the first time, and I have a whole cow on the way. Should be ready in about 2 weeks or so, maybe 3 weeks. But it was not only educational, but it was very encouraging, because prior to starting this diet, I did know that there were some horror stories coming out of the meatpacking industry for many years before what's even going on now. So to be able to find out that there are processes out there that are good for the animals, good for the land, and good for you, it was just a tremendous boost to my well-being to know that when I spend this money on meat, I'm supporting those things that I believe in. The hardest thing for me in this process has been the fact that I've had to wait this long to get my local beef, because meanwhile I'm still buying it at the big box store because it's the only place I can get anything close to the price I need, and I need to eat. So the sooner you start to do this, the better it's going to be for the local rancher, the better it's going to be for you, and the more it's going to put pressure on those industries that want to try to dictate to you what you should be eating and what you shouldn't be eating. Support somebody who's going through the effort of bringing you good quality beef, as opposed to somebody who's trying to push these plant-based protein substitutes on you. I mean, if we haven't learned anything yet from all the different substitutes to the real thing and how they've affected us over the past 100 years, it's clear to me we're never going to learn anything from history. But I haven't given up. I think if there's more people out there talking about solutions and acting to make those solutions real, we can get back to the way things should be, where we're not always talking about level 10 noise dividing us all the time. Oh, there's still going to be human nature. There's still going to be deceitful practices going on out there. There's still going to be all the things that we had before this, but it won't be at the level that it's at now. I mean, my goodness. It's like every day we're just deluged with negative information. And you can be a part of the change that gets us away from that. We got to stop supporting these industries that want to control us and want to force us to do things that are more profitable for them. I mean, it's fine to offer it as a alternative, but to try to push to make it mandatory, a lot of times it's the price that stops people from making a decision that's good for themselves. And you got to consider not just the price of what you spend, but the price of what else you sacrifice when you invest your money in people who don't have your best interest at heart. As I was reviewing this video on my walk back, I was watching this part and I realized that I neglected to point out my own video, 2 videos covering the topic of buying local beef. Stick around to the end of the video and I'll have a link to the first one that you can click on so you can find out more about buying local beef. There's an old saying, united we stand, divided we fall. There's some big money interests out there who are putting a lot of pressure on the division aspect, dividing us into groups so that they can have more power. Well, power concentration and power politics have become the norm lately, and the only way we're going to be able to push back on that is to vote with our dollars on what you want to see supported and what you don't want to see supported. Put your money where your mouth is. Man, he's back. Son of a gun, get out of here. What kind of bug is this? It just keeps following me around. I feel like I'm in the book I'm reading. This damn bug has been circling me for the last 100 yards, buzzing in my face, buzzing in my ear. It's like he's doesn't like what I'm saying. Ah, it's creepy. I'm reading Prey by Michael Crichton and Prey. I'm starting to think they're sending this thing after me. because it is totally attacking me while I try to talk to you about this. Anyway, hilarious. You got to take control over your own body. That's been the argument I've had against all this healthcare stuff for so long, is we don't need healthcare from the outside, because once you give in to the healthcare, you've basically said you have the right to regulate my body. And isn't that what they're trying to do constantly now? Trying to regulate your body. And how much control do you have when they can regulate your body? What you eat, where you go, what you say, what you do. You have none. Is that the world you want to live in? Anyway, holy crap. Just walked up on, I've never been this far down the road. There's a solar farm over here. So anyway, again, if you want to make a difference and you feel like you don't have a voice and you're tired of everybody trying to tell you what to do with your body, vote with your dollars. Especially if you're a carnivore, you need to buy local meat. But even if you're not, you can make a big difference for people who are struggling to provide a good quality product for you by buying it from them and not buying it at your local big store. So take it for what it's worth, and then let's get up and move. We need to be ready, be in shape. Times are going to get strange here soon. You're going to want to be ready. I can't tell you how amazing I feel after having been doing this diet now for 7 months and eating only meat, with small exception. Nobody's perfect. At least I'm not. Man, I have never been down here. Look at this. This is amazing. Just goes on and on as far as the eye can see. Let me try the back side of this camera. I have no idea where it ends. Hey, but there's your sunrise. 2 miles in. It's amazing what you can find when you get out and do a little walking. Quick note for all of you who have just started a diet like this, specifically the lion diet or a carnivore diet. If you haven't been used to exercise, don't overdo it too quickly. It's not going to be as easy starting off, but when you start to feel it, listen to your body. Listen to your body. You'll know when you're ready, because it's going to be like a nagging thing that you've got to get up and do something. That's when you get up and exercise. I couldn't do these exercises early on, and I want to encourage you, if you're just starting this diet, take your time. Don't push too hard on the workout. Matter of fact, I wouldn't even think about it for the first couple of months unless you're already exercising before the diet, because it can be a little hard on you in the beginning transition, from what I've heard. But for me, I did have to wait 2 months. I mean, I didn't have to wait, but I did wait 2 months because I didn't have the motivation to exercise until 2 months in. And it was very small amounts to start with. And now it's up to a level that I haven't been at since I was a teenager. But you can get there. Just don't try to do too much too fast with the exercise. Focus on the diet, and it'll help you get to where your body needs to be. There are some support groups out there that can help you. On Facebook, you can look up Carnivore Tribe, World Carnivore Tribe on Facebook. Also, there's the Lion Diet Facebook page. And you can hear from a lot of other people going through similar circumstances and get support from one another so that you can do what you need to do for your health. Here's one more thing about walking that's been really amazing. I had no idea what was at the end of this dirt road. And between the solar farm and another road I didn't know was here, This has really been a neat exploration, getting out and walking this far. Kind of brings out the kid in me. I have no idea where this road comes out at, but it is such an adventure just to keep walking. I'm having a blast. Never would have thought I would enjoy the hell out of walking, but this is really cool. Man, does it feel good just to get out and go, to have the freedom to walk and live and explore this world of ours. Don't be afraid to live. Be the adventure. Live the adventure. You only get one shot at this life. Don't let somebody else tell you how to live it, including me. If you don't like what I'm saying, it's fine. If you do like it, I hope you'll keep tuning in. I'll see you tomorrow.